Welcome to Sundays with Amber. I'm Amber and Cooper says hello. For today's practice, grab 2 blocks, 1 strap, and something to sit on like a blanket or a pillow. The class today is called The Mind. So in Yoga Sutra 1.5, it explains that there's 5 functions of the mind, and they can either cause us suffering or not. And the 5 functions are correct perception, misunderstanding, imagination, deep sleep, and memory. So these are the 5 functions of the mind. And then ultimately, as we practice yoga, we start to become more aware of these functions and what function is appearing when, and is it causing us harm the way that it's showing up, or how are we going to kind of have a relationship with the functionings of our mind, essentially. So they have the potential to create suffering or not. And I think that's such an interesting awareness to start to become really aware of and witness the functioning of our mind. So as we practice today, can we practice with this in mind? Grab your 2 blocks and today create an equal sign with the blocks and place them at the back of your mat. And they can either be on the lower level depending on how your body's feeling, or they can go up higher. If you feel a little extra tight or you've been sitting at a computer desk, you might want to start lower. You can also skip it if it's too much. But as you turn your back to the blocks, everybody's a little bit different height. So find the correct distance so that when you lie down, the back of your heart and your shoulder blades are on the first block. And you might have to move the second block, and that block goes under your head. The thing about having that block under the shoulder blades more at the wide setting, it affects the shoulder blades. So if you can, just kind of wiggle around and try to get the shoulder blades more flat on your back so they feel flat on the block as well. Then extend your arms out with your elbows resting closer to the floor so you can really just relax as much as you can the arms. The elbows may touch the floor, they may not. Because the positioning of the block and the way the shoulders are, it's forcing the chest to open, and that may affect the positioning of your arms. As you come into your position, you relax a little bit. If your lower back feels tweaky, lift your pelvis up and tip the pelvis forward and lower it back down. If it still feels a little tweaky, like it's maybe not the greatest position for it, come up and put the blocks lower, or remove the blocks and just lay on your back without them. And for just about 5 breaths, bring your awareness to your nostrils, so both nostrils, and an awareness to the point right between your eyebrows. And if you were to draw a line between these 3 points, it would create a triangle, like a really thin triangle. To imagine that as you inhale from the 2 points at your nostrils, inhale all the way up the 2 separate nasal passages to the point between the eyebrows, the top of the inhale. And then from that point down from between the eyebrows to the points at the nostrils again. So slow, long breaths. Inhale from the nostril points to the eyebrow point. Exhaling from the eyebrow point down to the nostril points. Just feeling the sensation of the breath. Do this. Inhale up. And exhale down. As you breathe like that, consider the inquiry. Where does truth come from? Like, where does truth come from for you? Okay, and then very, very carefully roll over to the side. very carefully. And then grab your blocks, have them close by. When you come back down onto your back, you can even use them to pick yourself up so that you can lower all the way back down comfortably. And as you lie down, put one of the blocks between your feet and one of the blocks between your knees. Squeeze them so you feel your inner thighs engage, and then place your arms into a gold post position with the palms up. Move your knees right over your hips and you'll feel your core engage a little bit. So try to do that. Squeeze the blocks, inhale. As you exhale, lower the knees to the right and plug your left shoulder blade down. Keep your head stationary. Inhale, lift the knees right over the hips. Exhale, lower the knees to the left, plug the right shoulder blade down. Inhale, lift your knees back up. Exhale, twist to the right, left shoulder blade down. It doesn't matter how much you bring the knees over. Inhale, lift back up. Knees right over the hips. Exhale, knees to the left, going slow and controlled, linking your breath to your movement. Inhale, lift the knees. Exhale to the right one more time each side. And let's go even slower. So this is a slow flow situation. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, twist. And then inhale, lift back up. You did it. Right? Remove the blocks. You can put those to the side for a moment. And then as you come back onto your back, just take a moment and observe how you feel after that back bend on the blocks and after the twist. You're going slow enough so that you can use your mind to tune into your body, and simultaneously becoming aware of any kind of thoughts that come up for you. Great. Keep your left foot planted and then slip your right foot under. Reach for the right foot with your left hand. Doesn't mean you'll get it, but you're reaching for it. Instead of the right knee turning out to the right in a butterfly position, move the right knee forward and down as much as you can, and that will become more of a quad stretch in the right leg and even into the right lower belly stretch. Reaching your right arm overhead to even move into that stretch deeper. And as you open and reach the arm overhead, it allows you to breathe up higher in the chest cavity. So do that. Inhale, expand your chest cavity up towards your shoulder blades, your right rib cage. And exhale, feel that all soften. Everything, even your belly, even the right leg. One more. Inhale, expand. Deep breath. Exhale, soften. Okay, let's switch. Right foot gently plants down. Release your right hand. Slip the left foot under. Remember, left knee is forward. This side's different, so go slow. Reach the left arm back behind you, opening up the whole left side body, rib cage, and then breathing there. Inhale. And exhale, soften the belly, soften the chest, soften the left leg. One more, inhale. Exhale. There's an even quality to the breath. Great. Plant the foot. Take a moment, place your hands on your belly or the floor, wherever feels good, and just observe. And cross your right ankle on top of your left thigh without using your hands. So you can stay here or begin to lift your legs up. That's second choice. Third choice is weaving your hands around your left leg. But if you just want to keep your arms relaxed, you don't have to do that. Okay, holding on or not, shift weight over to your right hip, almost so that your left hip lifts off the floor. Just notice that. And then do the other side. So you're kind of shifting over to the left, the right hip lifts up. And then begin to come to a neutral position. So you're more even on the pelvis and the hips. As you hold that more neutral position, then begin to track your right thigh bone forward. Yeah. Breathe into your belly. Inhale slowly. The belly rise. Exhale. The belly dips in. Your belly. And let's switch sides. So left foot down, plant the right foot, and cross left ankle on top. If you did it on the first side, stay here. If you did it on the first side, move to that second position, and then the third, perhaps. And then same thing, move over the weight to the left side, so you're tipping. And then tip over to the right and just notice, does this side feel different or similar? Or can you not tell? Come to neutral, so even it out, and begin to track your left thigh bone forward. An interesting thing about what we do in yoga, among other things, is we do asymmetrical postures. So we do a pose on one side of the body and then the second. And this really gives us an opportunity, among other things, to become aware of our perception. Okay, so how we perceive the posture on each side of the body and how we perceive even how we're placing our body in the posture. And sometimes we don't even realize we're doing something. And that's a gift when we start to realize, oh, I didn't know I transferred more weight to one side. And place the feet back down. Take a moment, hands on your belly, and just breathe. As well as working with the mind in class today, we're working with stretching the lower back and supporting the lower back. Grab one of your blocks, lift your hips up, and put the block any level. And it could be a pillow under your hips, not your lower back. So go to the hips. Puff your chest up so that your upper vertebrae, your spine isn't collapsed onto the floor. And then begin to lift your right leg so it's at a 90-degree angle. So again, it's the knees right over the hip, like when we did the twist. So you can stay here. So there's some options. You start to wiggle the left foot forward until that leg is straight, pressing forward through the foot. There's another option. And then the final option is to lift the right foot up. Okay, and then breathing deeply as you press both feet in their directions. One more breath. Okay, sliding the left foot back and the right foot down. And let's switch sides. Okay, lifting the left leg up to that 90-degree angle and then situating the knee over the hip. That's a core thing among other things that it ignites. And then maybe you're sliding the right foot forward, flexing that foot. Go slow. And the final option is to lift the left foot up. Asymmetrical. So how are you perceiving what in actuality is happening here? So like truth can be something like, oh, I feel my hamstring stretching. Okay. That's a truth that's happening. My leg is extended or it's not extended. That's a truth. Sometimes what we add a meaning to those sensations, and that can be an interesting navigation of, is that meaning truth? Oh, my hamstring is tight. Is that the truth? Okay, go ahead and place the left foot down, the right foot down. Lift your hips up. Move the block out of the way and then come all the way back down and just take a moment again. And so we're doing this between every set of postures so you can observe. You're moving slowly. Hug your knees in, give yourself a squeeze, rock up to a seat, and bring that blanket over. So you're going to bring that over, sit on the blanket, have your strap close by because we'll use it in a moment. Bend your left knee. It can stay here, the foot, or you can step it over. Just depends. You can try and then decide like, wow, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. Bring your foot closer, or it can be a little further away as well. Flex the right foot like you're pushing into a wall. And then take one of your blocks in your left hand back behind you. If you don't have a block, it's okay. You can be on the floor. Or you can grab a book. Lift your right hand up on the inhale and either hug your left knee or hook your elbow. Right? I'm going to hug. Right? Sit up really tall and start to look over the left shoulder. Breathe into the front of your rib cage, but I also want you to try to breathe into the back of your rib cage and the parts of your rib cage that are closer to your armpits. Inhaling, expanding in a 3-dimensional quality in those areas, and then exhaling, retracting. One more. Great. Look forward. Release the twist. Drop the left knee out to the side in a butterfly shape and bring the foot in pretty close to your pelvis. Now grab your strap, bend the right knee, place the strap around the ball mounts of your right toes, and then loosen up your grips on the strap and let that leg extend out. Pull on the strap to open your chest. Turn your heart towards your right knee. Take a deep breath. Hinge at the hips as you exhale, fold forward. If your elbows are bending a lot like mine, walk your hands down a little bit. And keep that pull on the strap, reaching the heart forward. I like this one because it stretches, among other things. It could be the hip, the hamstrings, but also the lower back on the left side. Okay, reaching the heart forward. Take 2 deep breaths. And then inhale, rise all the way up. And let's switch, right? So you'll move the strap to the side, extend your left leg out, bend your right knee, find your position, whatever you're choosing to do. And then taking your right hand on the block behind you, maybe it's already there. You have to bring it back. Lift your left hand up on the inhale. Hug or hook and start to twist, looking over your right shoulder. Find one gazing point and just try to keep the focus there so your eyes are steady, which allows you to look inward toward the breath more clearly and then create the 3-dimensional quality to your breath again. Inhale, expand the back of the rib cage, the sides, the front of it. Exhale, feel that retract. Sit up tall. Try not to collapse with the exhale. One more. Great. Look forward. Release it and then drop the right knee out. Grab your strap again. Bend the left knee. Place the strap around the ball mounts of those toes and then reach out. This side could be different. Pull on the strap. Align your heart to the left knee, the straight leg knee. Deep breath in. Hinge at the hips, fold without collapsing the chest. So use your strap to help you keep your chest open. If your elbows bend, walk down. 2 breaths, observing your mind, your body. Great. Inhale, come back up. Release the strap. Extend both legs out. Give it a shake. Okay, and then come into a cross-legged seated position. Lift your arms up on the inhale. Exhale, place your right hand down and then seated side stretch. And it's okay if the left hip lifts up, if it's excessively doing that and you can allow it to soften down a little bit. Do that. Deep breath there. Now, I want you to see this from the side because as you exhale, I want you to turn your chest down towards your right knee and then reach toward that corner of the room. Take a breath. Inhale, lift, back up, reach. Other side, exhale, left hand slides down. Inhale there, let the right hip soften without too much force. And then turn your chest down as you reach toward the corner of the room. Breathe. Really nice. Inhale, reach up. Cactus, your arms pull down. Lift your chest, lift your chin. Inhale, reach up. One more exhale, pull down. Feels good. Inhale, reach up. And then let it go. And come off the blanket if you have it, whatever you're sitting on. Move it to the side, reach your arms out, and then carefully roll all the way down onto your back. Watch out for that other block I forgot about. And come all the way down, hug your knees to your chest, give yourself a squeeze, rock from side to side. Draw your knees toward their armpits and do the same thing, rock from side to side. And then begin to extend your legs out, backs of the hands on the floor, palms up. Allowing yourself to get as comfortable as you can, wiggle around. And then once you've got the wiggles out, be still. Just for a few moments. Allow everything to soften. Muscles of your face, your breath. As you settle into Shavasana, I'd like to share a poem by Saul Williams called Sinners versus Losers. Well, it's the sinners versus the losers, and the losers win every time. Because the losers fight the system while the sinners lost in their minds. And if the losers are the winners, then the winners are losers too. Because the losers fight for justice while the winners lost in their truth. Lost in their truth. Lost in their truth. Allowing yourself to relax and contemplate correct perception, misunderstanding your relationship with the truth, what we believe to be true, and how sometimes we're proven wrong, and how beautiful that is to be proven wrong, and to challenge our perception. Allow yourself to stay for as long as you need. Thank you for practicing with me today on Sundays with Amber. Please go to my website to check out my other offerings, sundayswithamber.com. And I will see you next week.